Well, I've talked to a customer in the morning, designed the ring that day, got approval for it that afternoon, cast it the next morning, and had a finished ring in their hand within 24 hours.
Wow.
I don't really know exactly what the time span was, but it seemed like it was just a few months between just barely hitting 3,000 to going to 4,000.
So time for people to go looking to see what gold they have around their house and those old jewelry and stuff, right?
Yeah. I had a going away party. That's when I met my wife-to-be. We were so much alike. And I finally met her at my going away party. Wow. So I thought, geez, here's the girl of my dreams, just my luck. Now I'm moving away.
Yeah.
Of course, we do all the repairs and everything in-house. Nothing ever leaves the store. But primarily, I think doing custom is our main thing. If we had to give advice to somebody that was considering working with their spouse, I would just say to be patient and to try to see things from their point of view. There have been a lot of times that we were stressed about something, but we always had to remember that we're both on the same team.
Welcome back to the Spotlight on Good People, where today we're featuring a remarkable story of romance, risk, and resilience. You're going to meet a man who found his future wife at his going away party, sustaining a long-distance love before buying a one-way ticket to bring her home. From his father launching their legacy out of a tent at the base of a ski resort, to the terrifying moment he took over the company, only to have his parents leave the country 3 days later. This is a moving conversation about honoring tradition, surviving trial by fire, and earning respect when you're the youngest person in the room. How was Christmas season for you guys?
It was really good. Yeah.
Is that usually busier than January, February, March for you, or how's Christmas time for you?
Christmas is really good for us, and then when January comes, then usually the first couple weeks are transitional. People are coming back from wherever they went for Christmas and the holidays, and then right about now, mid-January is when we start going really, really busy all the way, hopefully through May.
Yeah, right. Yeah, hopefully. But you have that same window where Christmas is not like most retailers. Christmas is just the time. It's where
luckily that's not the case.
Yeah.
Usually February, March are better than December, which is crazy because usually you would think a lot of people spend all their money for Christmas gifts and that kind of thing. And then they aren't really buying very much after that, but that's not the case.
Yeah, I think in the rest of the world it's like that, but in here it's different here.
Yeah, Naples is different.
Yeah,
definitely,
it's its own thing.
Yeah.
Well, you so New Hampshire is your original.
Yeah, that's where my parents started their first jewelry store in Lincoln, New Hampshire, right at the base of Loon Mountain Ski Resort. My dad was a traveling salesman for the Diamond Label Maker Company, the click machines with the raised white letters.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was their number one salesman, and he was on commission. But then they switched him to a salary, so he took a pretty big pay cut, and he'd always had a dream of opening up a jewelry store. And at that point, we were living in Massachusetts, and we were building a summer house in New Hampshire. And my parents called up the architect and told him, maybe make it a bit bigger so it can be our primary residence. So they did that, and we ended up moving before the house was finished. And we were living on Squam Lake. And then that's where there was a movie on Golden Pond.
Oh, yeah.
It was filmed there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so the house is being finished, and we were driving up to Lincoln every day, and there are pictures on our website of my parents in front of this tent with a country squire pulled up to it, and they had to put the jewelry in and take it out every day and drive home, and I was just like 7 or 8 at the time, so I was pretty young, but he was following his passion.
Wow. So running the business out of a tent, just building this, just setting it up and doing that. Wow.
I don't recommend it, but it worked out okay for us.
Yeah. But he was just following his heart. It was something he had always wanted to do.
Yeah.
And what was that like for you as a kid going through that? Because I had a similar experience with my dad when, going through his stuff. What was it like for you? Because you had to move. It was a move from where you were.
Yeah. And, it was rough. I'll be honest. When we first opened, there wasn't a whole lot of money coming in, and we had just made a big move and built a house. So things were pretty lean. And so I think it brings people closer together, though.
Yeah.
It just made us stronger.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I'm the youngest of 4. I've got a sister She's about a year and a half older than I am. And then I've got my brother Bill. He's 5 years older than I am, and he lives in Atlanta. And then my brother Dave, who is also in the jewelry business, he's 9 years older than I am.
He's in the jewelry business too.
Yes.
Where is it? Where is that?
He's in Durham, North Carolina.
Okay.
And his son is also a goldsmith, and his wife is a gemologist.
Wow.
Yep.
The lineage goes all the way.
Yep.
So you were always kind of around it, because even though he wasn't in the business till later, he was always sort of tinkering with jewelry. Or
In the mid '50s, he went to Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois, for watchmaking and for jewelry. So he had the passion for that long.
Oh, okay.
But it didn't really work out for him. So then he was the salesman, and then he still couldn't shut off that desire to open his own store.
Yeah.
So they did that in the summer of '74, and then during the winter, people wanted to know where they could find him, because you can't have a tent at the bottom of a ski resort.
Yeah.
So they moved into a brick and mortar place, and there were a lot of other people that did the same thing that my parents did, but they were in. They made soap and candles and tapestries and leather works and that kind of thing. And so he took some of their art and put it in his jewelry store, and it was called Craftsman's Gift Gallery. And so he had all of their things in there, and then as they sold, he didn't replace them. So then it was just a jewelry store.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So is that area kind of resort? So it's all around skiing.
Yeah.
But in the summer, then there's a different type of. There's still people that go there.
It's like an art fair every weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so as a kid being around that, where did your interest come about?
Well, I wasn't really interested in joining the business at all. I was going to school at, after New Hampshire, we moved to Texas in 1980 because there was a snow shortage in New England. And
so your family moved to Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And we moved the jewelry store there. We were just outside of Dallas and Plano, Texas.
Okay.
And I was going to school at Texas Tech at the time. And my parents ended up moving here in 87, 88, to open the store in Naples. And then coincidentally, my brother worked for the jewelry store that was in my parents' old location. And so he was making jewelry, and during the summer and during Christmas break and that kind of thing, I would go see him. Mm-hmm. And at one point, I'm in the jewelry store, it's Christmas time. He's like, grab a saw frame and help me out, and size this ring for me. So I had no experience.
What's
whatsoever.
A saw frame?
A saw frame is just like a coping saw, a little saw that you would just use to cut pieces of wire and sheet and that kind of thing out of silver and gold and platinum.
Okay.
So he
grab
just
one of those and get to work.
Yep, that was pretty much it.
Really?
And I took a semester off from school, and I ended up working for. It was called My Diamond Shop, and I was working with my brother on the workbench, and that was in the late '80s. And then my parents opened up their store here in Naples, and then
how did they go from? So first they went from the Northeast to Texas, and then to here.
Yep.
How'd that come about with that?
Yeah. Well, in Texas, if you remember, in the mid '80s, there was oil crunch.
Yes.
And a lot of our customers were in the oil business.
Yes.
So just like with the snow shortage, it ended up making our store on the slow side.
Yes.
And so my mom's sister's daughter, she came to Fort Myers and Naples on spring break. She went to Duke University. Mm-hmm. And she was telling her parents, you have got to check out Naples. It is so nice. And at the time, they were about to retire.
Yeah.
So they came here and they saw Naples, and they really, really liked it. And then my Aunt Ruth said to my mom, you've got to check out Naples. So they came to visit. And at the time, Venetian Village was just being designed, basically.
Right.
And they talked to a couple of realtors to find out where a good shopping center would be.
Yeah.
And they said, the Venetian Village is just opening up. You can pretty much put your store anywhere you want to. Mm. And at the time, there was only the north side of Venetian Village.
Yeah.
And there's a walkway now that goes under Park Shore, and then there's a south side. But when my parents opened their store, there was no south side.
No.
So we were kind of at the outskirts of the north side, and a lot of people didn't even know we were there.
Right.
But they knew that once the south side opened, that there would be a lot of traffic going under through the tunnel.
That's right. I didn't think about that too. That's ideal for that because everybody coming from either way is going to go by there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah. So as soon as the south side opened, and there was a lot more traffic going from north to south, then the business picked up, and we got busy. And they asked me if I wanted to join the business because they needed another goldsmith. It was just my dad, my mom, and a bookkeeper. And so they said, this position is going to be filled. Would you like the opportunity to join the business? And I said, sure, that sounds good. So
to move here, because you didn't live here yet, right?
no,
you had to move here.
I was still in Texas. And so I came to visit my parents over spring break. And I saw what an opportunity it was. So I ended up accepting the position and gave notice at the old store. And I had a going away party, and that's when I met my wife-to-be. Was at the going away party to move.
For you to move here?
Yeah.
Is that right? Oh, I thought it was before that. I didn't realize it was your party to come here. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of mutual friends, and everyone said for a long time that we should meet each other because we were so much alike. And I finally met her at my going away party.
Wow.
So I thought, geez, here's the girl of my dreams, just my luck. Now I'm moving away.
Yeah.
So she was going to University of Texas at Dallas at the time. And so we had a long distance relationship for about a year or so. And
that was when you had to pay for long distance calls too.
It was. And she was a starving college student, so she didn't really have a lot of money, but I didn't really have a lot to spend money on. So I invested in my future, I guess you might say. Yeah. We spent a lot of time on the phone.
Yeah, because it would cost a lot then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you made that work for about a year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she was going to graduate. And so I felt really good about her and my relationship, and I asked her if she wanted to move to Naples to be with me, and she accepted. So I got a one-way ticket to go to her graduation, and then we got a U-Haul and loaded up all of her stuff and moved her here.
Wow, what a great story! Yeah. And she knew it was right. She said, "I'm going. I'm going to do it."
Yeah,
you guys never.
It was tough at first because we were just talking on the phone. We weren't, in physical contact.
Right, yeah.
So there was definitely an adjustment period there.
Yeah, because you don't know, does he leave the toilet seat up or down? Does he leave toothpaste?
Exactly. Yeah.
And you don't know that about each other, yeah?
Not at all. Wow.
So did you move in together? Did you get a place together? How did you do that in the beginning?
Well, at the time, my Aunt Ricky, she had a condo that she wasn't using during the summertime. And now we're in 1994. And so we didn't really live together at first. She stayed at my Aunt Ricky's place.
Yeah.
And then we had made wedding arrangements and everything. So there was some commitment there.
Yeah.
But we ended up living together once my Aunt Ricky was going to come to take her condo back. And
yeah.
So we did move in to a little place in Victoria Park.
Oh, wow.
Off of Airport
That's
Road.
Where you were. Yeah. I love the traditionalness of that you didn't cohabitate right away.
Right.
That's the way it was always done. Yeah.
We'd visit each other, and spend a weekend together. But for the most part, we weren't together.
Yeah.
Not together.
Did she start working when she came here? What did she do when she got here?
Actually, she got her degree in psychology, and it was an undergrad. So she wanted to keep going to school, and there was really no place to extend her education.
Yeah.
And the internet didn't exist at that time.
Right, there was no Gulf Coast University.
There was nothing online, nothing.
No.
So she kind of hit a brick wall, and she ended up working for Montgomery Eye Center.
Oh, yeah.
And also Smith & DeShields after Montgomery. And so she was pretty much doing the books at Smith & DeShields, and then my parents said that they wanted to retire, and they wanted to know if I wanted to take the business over. So... of course, I accepted, and Jennifer quit her job, and then she ended up doing the books at the store. And we thought my parents might hold our hands for a little bit, once we signed on the dotted line. But 3 days after we took the store over, they went to Italy for a month. So
wow, oh, really? Wow, he was ready. He was ready.
We were thrown into it, which is actually how you learn the most.
Yeah,
you know, is when you have to figure things out.
Yeah. What was the conversation like between you and her when you made this decision to take it over? When you were ready to do that?
It was a really good conversation. Both of us really were excited about a new opportunity and to be able to do what we wanted to do, because if you work for someone else, there's always little things that you'd like to tweak with the business, and when you work for someone, you can't really do that. Yeah. You know, and my parents were pretty old school. We did have a computer, but and they did the books on it, but they didn't really they embraced technology, but they didn't really have the capacity. Like my dad, he was an artist. He barely knew how to turn a computer on. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So it was nice for us to be able to expand the business because it was a huge opportunity. Yeah. But my dad was always busy too. He was really resistant to slow down. I mean, from the moment he woke up in the morning until he went to bed, he was working on making violins or model airplanes. Oh, wow. You know, doing all kinds of different things. He's a real craftsman, everything he does, huh? Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. Making violins, did you say? Yeah. Really? Yeah. He had a kit that he bought like decades before he actually made it. But he made I think 5 or 6 violins. No kidding. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. Well, what was that like then, working with him? Because you can see things opportunities and things that an old school, like I work with my father the same way, they might not see it. Mm-hmm. How did that go with you and him while you were working together? What was that like? I think anybody has trouble working that close with somebody, but we just had a great time together. Yeah. I learned a lot from him. Yeah. And during the weekends, I'd go to my parents' house and work on model airplanes and watch, football. And so I was with them all the time until Jennifer moved here. Mm. But then when she moved here and we started the business ourselves, that things really took off after that. How long was that after she moved here before you guys took over? She moved here in 94. We got married in 95, and then 98 is when we just a few years after that. Yeah. So your dad, you sign on the dotted line. Your dad takes off to Italy for a month. Yep. Wow. Yeah. And it wasn't like you could call him for a lot of stuff. No, that's for sure. It wasn't easy to communicate that way. Yeah. So you're really on your own right away. Yeah. And I was an employee of his, and on basically the same page as the other people that worked at the stores, but now I'm the head guy. Yeah. Yeah. So I'd never managed anything before, so that was sort of a learning experience too. Yeah. How did they respond to that? How did they look at you? Because I know my kids have an issue sometimes with that, as I did with my dad, the way people looked at me, because he hired people, and then at one point I was responsible for leading them, and our situation was very similar, actually. Yeah. So it was always a little some people were like, "Oh, you're just a daddy boy. You're just, you're just going to hand it to you," and all this. And so you had to earn that sort of respect was harder. You kind of had a bigger hurdle to deal with. Right. What was that like for you? Well, for a long time, Jennifer and I were the youngest employees of Phelps Jewelers. Yeah. And a lot of times when somebody takes a position over, like a salesperson or whatever, they feel like, oh, this is going to be a really fun job, but I'll still do my Philharmonic night every Tuesday, or go play pickleball or whatever. And if you're going to have the responsibility of a job, you can't really do that as much. Yeah. So it was kind of tough for us to find employees that would respect the situation and actually be there and do a good job when we were so much younger than they were. Right. Right. Yeah. And they didn't really take the job very seriously, but we have a great staff now. Yeah. So, but it takes a long time to find the right people. Sure. That everybody melds together and they work together and almost can read each other's minds and that kind of thing. Well, how do you
how do you do that in your business? Because it's similar in hair that there's an artistry, there's a craft to it. So there's not it's an exact science, although there may be some science to it with hair color anyway. But
Right.
but where there's artistry in it, how do you evaluate? How do you assess? How do you know what you're getting when you're bringing somebody on the team?
A lot of it has to do with experience. We made a lot of mistakes when we were the new owners of the store, but you learn from your mistakes, and you can kind of read people, I think, too. And when they are really interested in the position, and they show up on time and they stay late and they're working really hard all the time, and I think after a while you can sort of get a good feel for how someone's going to be if they're working for you.
Yeah.
But, and of course you do drug test, and you do a background check and make sure that their past employers like them and they give them recommendations, that kind of thing.
Well, how does somebody learn the business? Do you have an apprenticeship program too, or how do you get that?
There are schools that you can go to. I know there's one in Paris, Texas. I think there's one here in Florida. But it's a dying art, and it's something that AI can't do.
Right. That's good news, actually.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, but watchmaking is the same way. With all the electric watches there are now, there aren't a whole lot of people that work on mechanical watches.
Oh,
so it's
right.
similar, know, but finding good goldsmiths is very difficult. The one that we had now, it was a 2-year search that we went through to find him.
Wow. And was he from the area then, or no?
He was living in Tampa at the time.
Okay.
And we had an ad in Indeed, and I think he was either the third or fourth person that we had do a bench test, which means that we have them come to the store and we get to know them a little bit, and then they do some simple repairs and that kind of thing. And we evaluate the quality of their workmanship and their speed. And if they don't do a good job, then we just part ways and try to find someone else. But I think it was either the third or fourth person. Aaron is his name. Wow. And he did phenomenal on his bench test, and he's a Midwestern guy from Ohio, and he's got a really good work ethic. He's extremely talented. So we're really lucky to have him.
So he moved here for the position.
Yep, he did.
And the bench test. So that's got to be a lot of pressure for them too.
Yeah,
doing that.
I would think so, because everything is unfamiliar. You know, they're sitting at someone else's workbench with someone else's saw frame. Yeah. And all the tools and everything are a little bit different.
Yeah. So when did that happen? When did you bring him on board for you?
He started with us at about the same time that Paola started working for us, and she is a full-time year-round salesperson, also extremely good. But they both started in, I believe, February, March of 24. So they're coming up on 2 years with us.
Okay. Now, because you've been through it all, I mean, going that number of years and being in business, and especially down here, with all the things that we've been hit with here, which is, from the pandemic to the hurricanes, and there was, of course, Ian, but there was Irma, and there was always the threat of hurricanes when we lose business. The days before that. And the 07 crash, and just everything that we've had to endure. What kept you going? How did you get through all that? Because there aren't many that can say they did.
The Lord above blessed us for sure. But it's, I think, a situation that we do a lot of things that no other jewelry store does. Of course, we do all the repairs and everything in-house. Nothing ever leaves the store. But primarily, I think doing custom is our main thing. Okay. And what that means is you might have jewelry that you don't wear anymore with nice stones in it, but the mountings may be worn out, or the designs aren't really up to your specifications. So we'll take the gold and we'll take the stones, and I'll design something, or a few, 2 or 3 things. And we have a 3D CAD software program. It's called The Matrix. And so I'll make a piece of jewelry on the computer now, and I can email renderings to you. And if that rendering isn't exactly what you had in mind, I can, tweak it, make little adjustments, and until you do like it. And we will use all of the stones that you have if we can. If we can't, then we'll do like a second piece. But once the rendering is approved, then we have a 3D printer in our store also. And so I can actually print out the piece of jewelry
Wow.
and put all the stones in place.
Wow.
And they can try it on and make sure it's exactly what they want.
That's awesome.
And I brought a sample here to show you what I'm talking about. This was a piece that we made for someone, and that was using all of their stones.
Oh, wow.
But that's what comes out of
The 3D printer made this?
Yes.
Wow.
In our store. So she could try it on, and if she didn't like the way that the little stones were oriented on the top, I could flip them around.
Yeah.
Add stones, take stones away, make it wider, narrower, whatever you want. But that was for a yellow sapphire.
So that's what's here.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all the rest were all natural diamonds.
So that had to be really revolutionary, like a huge breakthrough in being able to, so somebody can visualize what you're creating.
Yep. But to answer your question, I think it's that kind of technology that we have that most stores don't have.
Yeah.
And I think that having the ability to make new pieces like that, or make something for you, not using your pieces, but using our stones, and creating something new is something that most places don't do. If they do have a 3D software program, a lot of times it isn't where you're starting from a completely blank canvas. A lot of times they'll almost have like a catalog within their software program, and their version of custom is, okay, we can take this setting and put it on this ring base, and if you don't like that one, we'll choose another one out of the library of settings that they have. And then they can put it together, and then a lot of times they'll email that file to somebody that does have a 3D software, a 3D printer.
Okay.
And then they print it and they cast the piece so it's then in metal, and then they get that back. So that's not really what we do. We start out with a blank canvas and we make it in the store. Then we do the 3D print, and once the 3D print is approved, then I'll know what the ring is going to weigh and how much time I've got into it. So I'll know exactly what it's going to cost.
Okay.
And at that point, I would ask for a 50% deposit. But if for whatever reason it doesn't work out and you find something somewhere else that is perfect, you have no financial obligation until that point.
Oh, so they could get see what could actually be the end result before investing anything in it. Right?
Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. But I kind of put myself in their shoes.
Yeah.
And I think going from like a concept to here's your finished piece of jewelry is sort of intimidating.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to be put in that situation.
Yeah.
So I always try to make sure that the customer feels like they're getting what they want, not something that's forced on them.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something that has really helped our business, is being able to do anything a customer wants. And I don't really think there are any other stores that can say that they can do that in-house.
Sure.
And in a timely manner too, because we can go. I have made a ring I've talked to a customer in the morning, designed the ring that day, got approval for it that afternoon, cast it the next morning, and had a finished ring in their hand within 24 hours.
Wow. Wow, really? That kind of turnaround. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
We can do that.
Yeah.
I don't really recommend it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't have all of the things that we need. But in particular cases, we have been able to do that. So it moves pretty quickly.
So you had to, or what you did was you've kind of married to you've embraced technology, but still the craftsmanship is still a big part of it, because it's not some stock way.
Right.
You're creating it.
Yep.
You just have a tool to create it and let them visualize it and see it before it actually happens.
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
Yep.
And in-house.
Yep.
Doing that right there.
But the program is extremely powerful. I bet you I maybe use 10% of what this is able to make. Yeah.
Now, how did you find that, or what inspired you to go that route? And get
I think that when you start to hear from people, like before we had the 3D CAD software program, everything was done by hand. So to make a model like the one I showed you, you would just start out with a piece of wax, and you would have to carve away everything that wasn't what you wanted.
Yeah.
And it was harder to make adjustments and that kind of thing as the project progressed. But when you start hearing from your vendors, oh, you really still carve wax? I can't believe that you don't have a 3D CAD software program. Then you're like, oh, really? What's up with that? What do you need to do to get into that? So then we researched the best ones and found out which one was the most compatible, because we didn't start out with the printer. We just used the software, and then we would email someone that did have a printer the file, and they would print it for us, and then they would cast it, and we would get the ring back. But it takes a lot of time, and you have to rely on different companies, and then a lot of times there are weather issues that slow the process down, that kind of thing. So once we got to the point where we were doing enough volume to justify buying a printer, of course we did that. But there's a lot of investment involved in that, and if you're going to only use it every once in a while, you really can't justify the expense.
Yeah.
But we just found that we were using it so much that we wanted to buy one and put it in the store so we could do things on a quicker basis.
Can you make anything with a 3D printer? I've never used one. I mean, I see what people do.
I think you can.
Really? Yeah.
If you can think it up, there's a way to make it.
And how long does that machine take to make a ring like that? Like the machine itself?
The actual print for that ring would probably take about an hour and a half.
Oh, that's all.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is that continue to evolve too with AI? Has it gotten sharper, better?
Yes, it has. Yeah, it has.
See that?
There are different resins. That's what that green thing was, is a resin that's castable. So I can actually make that exact thing into a piece of jewelry. But there are different types of castable resins. Some of them aren't as detailed, but the castings come out better. But a lot of times there are things within the resin that make it so that the detail isn't really there. But as of yesterday, we just used a new resin that we just found out about that has a really high wax content, which is great because then the castings come out better. So I did my first casting with that new resin today. So to answer your question about how things evolve, yes, it's just a matter of talking to the right people and finding out what the best equipment is to figure out which you're going to have in your store.
How was the result of the one you just did?
It was really, really good.
You're happy with that? Yeah.
Very happy.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, a lot of times when things don't work out, you have to try something different to get a different result.
Yeah.
And so we were just trying all different kinds of things in the casting process to make it so that the castings would come out better. But with this new, it's called X-Wax resin. And with that, the results were just phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah. So it's finally like,
yeah,
I don't have to chase it anymore,
Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice. So I have something, I've got about 12 things that are printing as we speak. So hopefully when I get back to the store, we'll be able to take those prints off.
So they're stacked up one after the other. You can batch do it like that. So
Yeah.
you print them out.
It has like a print table that's about the size of the cards.
Okay.
And so you can just line them all up and do them all at once. And the time it takes to print it is determined by how tall it is, not how much is on the print table, because the taller it is, the longer it takes to print, because it does it in layers.
Okay.
So whether you have one little thing on there that's maybe an inch tall or 10 of them, it'll take exactly the same amount of time to print it.
Wow,
but if you have something that's really short, like a 1/4 inch, that might only take 15 minutes to print.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah. Well, you should come in sometime.
I was thinking we have to be there I think the meeting there is Friday at the Village. But I was wondering if maybe we could pop in and Zach will come in with it. Let's get some video of it too to put it in here, because I'd love for people to see it too. That sounds really awesome to see what goes on behind the walls there. That'd be cool.
We also do all of our work under microscopes, and both Aaron and I have video cameras on our microscopes and we have TVs in the showroom. So as we're working on something, you can watch us and it would be magnified.
Oh, very cool.
So like if I tell you that you have a broken stone or something like that, and you're looking at it in your hand and you're thinking, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Well, I can put it on the microscope with the video camera on it, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. How
cool is that?
In the showroom.
Wow.
And that happened this morning. A lady had about a 4-carat emerald cut diamond that she had been wearing, and she asked me if I would clean it for her, and I said, sure, I'll check it out for you too. And one of the prongs that secures the diamond in place was broken off. And she's like, well, I don't see it. And I said, I'll show you on the microscope.
Yeah.
So as soon as I put it under the microscope and she was looking at the TV in the showroom, she could see exactly what I was talking about.
Wow.
And the stone was really loose and everything.
Yeah, it's a pretty important piece.
Yeah. So if she had lost one more prong,
it was gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that diamond was probably, I don't know, $50,000-$60,000 easily.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. So we'll get to see that if we come by.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to see that.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. Yep.
What are your thoughts about these manufactured lab grown diamonds? What's that world?
They are diamonds. It's not like a simulant that kind of looks the same. It is the same thing. It's just that in the case of a natural diamond, it takes millions of years to grow or to become a diamond.
Yeah.
And then you have to go find it.
Yeah.
Dig it out.
Yeah.
And then the expense in doing that is really, really high. And then finding one that's of gem quality, and then finding one that's big enough that you can actually cut a diamond out of. So they become very, very expensive. But if you're in a laboratory and you're making like these machines, they don't make one diamond at a time. They make like 200 at a time. And instead of having a lot of inclusions like internal characteristics of the stone or have it be, brown or really yellow or whatever, the ones that they're making now are very, very white. They're very, very internally clean, and it only takes a few months to grow one. So they cost roughly 90% less than natural diamonds. Wow. So if you have like a 2-carat diamond that is, $10,000 or $20,000, it's like $1,000 or $2,000.
Wow.
So there is a substantial difference in price.
Yeah.
And also we find that because the material is so much less expensive, that the way that they're cut is better. Because with the diamond, every time you touch it to the wheel to put a facet on it, there's diamond dust going away. And that's dollars, whereas with the lab grown diamonds, the material is so much less expensive. They don't really care as much about how the diamond weighs or what it weighs. They care more about the quality of the cut of the diamond. So they tend to be very internally clean, very white in color, and very well cut for 1/10 the price.
So you like working with them?
I have to admit, they're gorgeous. They're really, really nice. And I don't stock anything in lab grown. Everything in the store is natural from the ground. So if you look around and wonder what's natural and what isn't natural, it's all natural in my store.
Okay.
But I can get lab grown diamonds. And what's nice is that normally what I'll do is I'll get in 2 or 3 for you to choose from. And then you would pick one, and then we would make a ring or a bracelet or whatever out of it for you using the 3D CAD software program and the 3D printer.
Is it easy for you to see when you have the two next to each other? You can tell that one's from the earth and one's from the lab?
No, it's
Really?
the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it used to be that they weren't certified. So I'd have to kind of take a judgment as to the quality of the stone. But now even the Gemological Institute of America is certifying them. So in the certificate number is normally laser inscribed right on the diamond. So you can pair the diamond with the certificate and know that those two match. Because I've seen people come in with a diamond and a certificate, and that certificate is not for that diamond. So with the laser inscription on the diamond, you know that there's no doubt about the fact that that stone is what that piece of paper says it is.
Wow.
And I can show you too. I can put it on the microscope and show you the number on the TV using our microscope with a video camera on it. So you know exactly that stone is the one that's on paper.
Yeah. Fascinating that they could do that on a little, make it so small like that.
I'll show you when you come into the store.
I got to see that.
It's
That's
amazing
awesome.
there. Yeah. It's very legible, but it's small.
What has that done to the diamond industry? What's happening?
It has had to have cut into it by a pretty big margin, I would say. We've got customers that are very wealthy, just like you, and they didn't have...
I'm not the wealthy one. Their customers are the wealthy.
Yeah, just like you have.
Right.
But, and that's kind of the fun part too, is that they've got these big diamonds that are natural, that they've had for generations, and they sort of pepper in the lab grown. So people don't even consider the fact that this person might not have a natural diamond, but they paid, I just sold a 7 3/4 carat emerald cut for $14,000.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow.
And it's like really, really gorgeous. Wow. Super nice. But a 7 and almost 8 carat natural diamond would be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Wow.
But she's got a lot of other pieces that are really big. So
yeah,
you wouldn't even question the fact that it's natural. Whereas we have these millennials coming in, this 20-somethings, and they've got $10,000 in their pocket, and they're walking out with a 5 carat diamond on their head.
Wow. Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if somebody that young is wearing something that's that big, you kind of know.
Yeah.
But they don't really care because it's beautiful, it's big, and it's more environmentally friendly, they feel. And it was, grown in a laboratory. It's, everything that they wanted to, and they can still put a deposit down on a house or buy a car with the money that they saved. You know?
Yeah. So
it works out really well for everyone. And because we make the lab grown diamond sale, we also make the mounting for it too. So it works out well for us, because if you want a lab grown diamond and I don't offer it to you, you're going to go somewhere else. And more than likely, whoever you buy it from, you're also going to have them do the setting with the ring or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So I would be missing out on not only the lab grown diamond sale, but also the ring or whatever that is being made for it. So to resist selling lab grown diamonds, I think would possibly be a mistake.
Yeah.
Because
so you're embracing it.
Yeah, if you want a lab grown diamond and I don't offer it, then you're going to go someplace that does.
Sure.
So,
and it's not like the old days with the cubic zirconia. That stuff is not. This is the real deal.
It's the real deal.
Yeah.
And they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I also hear your reputation is that no job is too small, like anything. And I think there are even comments online about how people comment that you treated their small little repairs if it was $1 million commission, but you treated them the same as all the way through. No job too small.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's always been your thing. What's behind that?
I think my parents, they started the business that way, and to me, that's just the way it's done. If someone is really young or whatever, and they have a little repair that they want to have done, they'll remember that, and then they'll come back, and then they'll tell their friends, and then they get older and they need an engagement ring, and we've been doing business forever. So then, things tend to snowball. But even if you don't come back and we just do that repair for you, whatever it is, then we're happy. We made someone happy, and I would say that the business in general is just a happy business.
Yeah.
We took a piece of old jewelry that they had that they didn't wear, and we made it into something else. Or they, get married, and then there's an engagement ring and a wedding band, and then there's anniversaries, and there's bump gifts.
The baby bump. Yeah,
the baby bump gift.
Yeah.
And then they
what
tell
do they call
two
the
friends.
push present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But then there's, first communions and anniversaries, and, so everything is really attached to a fun experience.
Yeah. It's a happy
Christmas,
time.
birthdays.
Yeah.
So
what have you seen over time, the shift in, because you're dealing with second and third generation families that have been coming there too. What have you seen in the shift in the way business is for you, and even since post-COVID? What do you see?
Yeah. A lot of times when people started coming to us, they were like in their 40s, 50s, and they were still buying a lot of jewelry, and they were going to fancy occasions that they could wear this jewelry at. And then they end up, slowing down a little bit about buying things, and then the things that we sold them years ago need to get polished or maintained. So we end up doing that. But then they end up wanting appraisals so that they can give their jewelry to their kids, and they want to make sure it's all even. And then they aren't buying jewelry anymore. It's sort of the evolution,
Yeah, yeah.
So, but then their kids come to us, and we just continue the process. So I had a lady come in last week, and she said that she needed to find something for her 30-year wedding anniversary. And I was like, okay, sure. She said, I got my engagement ring here from you 30 years ago.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that's amazing.
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So we've been there for a long time. We've seen a lot of changes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I still see Dara from Artichoke and Company. See them and they have their place over there. But it was the German couple that had that at their back in the day. Wasn't
Alexander?
Yes.
Yeah, and his wife. Yeah, he was in the store. I would say just a couple months ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Still around?
Yep.
No
He had
kidding.
a cane and everything.
No kidding.
And he's like, I don't know if you remember me. And I was like, Alexander,
Yeah.
hello, how are
Yeah.
you? He couldn't believe that I remembered. But, I was like early or late 20s, I'd say. When, when I started working there.
Was his wife there too? Or was it?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember going
That was
there.
many years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, they were the originals. And then then Dara took it over after that, and they were there for a little while.
Yep.
And I remember did you, on Ian, did you have any water come into your place? Did you get anything from that?
No, it was incredible.
Well, right, nothing, right?
Yeah, we didn't have anything.
Really lucky there.
Yeah,
really lucky there.
The water came up probably about in the parking lot, maybe 2 feet or so, I would say.
Yeah.
And Creighton, that is higher elevation than we are, was flooded.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost all the way to 41.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Well, actually, we saw a car that was parked right by Montgomery Eye Center, and you could see a water line about halfway up the door. Wow. And it said, there was a note in it saying that somebody had been called and the car is going to be picked up. But because of that water line, you could see how high the water was, and we're dry.
Yeah,
I
wasn't that
couldn't
something?
believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were going down 41, right where Fresh Market is, there's that big parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
And that was flooded. And
Yeah.
we were thinking, oh my gosh, we're not going to have anything left.
Yeah.
And the police were there, and we told them that we had a jewelry store at Venetian Village. So, because they weren't just letting anybody through.
Right.
Right,
yeah.
So we had no idea what to expect. And when we got to the parking lot, and it was just, had dirt on it.
Yeah, it
and
was
the
incredible.
trees were down, but we were dry. I have no idea how.
Yeah, that was a small miracle for sure.
It really was.
Yeah. It's even down here at Bayfront, the water that came in over here, it never made it up, but there were fish in the drive area there.
Oh my gosh.
There's so much water in there.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
at all three we were lucky. And
Yeah.
the village, the whole center, it's a miracle that didn't, because that area got hit so bad.
Oh, it did.
Was
There's
a
a
mess.
little marina by T. Michael's, and there was a boat right in front of his restaurant.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe
Yeah.
it.
There were cars in the water where the boats were, and the boats were where the cars were.
I know. And we're dry.
Yeah.
It
that
just
was
didn't
incredible.
make any sense at all.
I remember going down Gulf Shore, and a little further south of the village, there was just this accumulation of cars that had all floated down into this one area there. It was just incredible. How we just picked them up, and then here we were with not a drop. It was unreal.
Just incredible.
That. Yeah, that was a real blessing, because
Yeah.
we've had so many over the years that never really did anything, and I never thought they would always tell us about water. I'm like, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
There's no way. They were always talking about all the ones we had, Wilma and Charlie, and, the ones that never came, and then even Irma, which was still, it had an impact on the area, not as much as Ian did, but it was one that woke me up anyway. I remember thinking
That's for sure.
We didn't know. Like, who knew the couple days after what's going to happen? You know, it was like there was so much unknown.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of question marks.
Yeah.
But we were both just so blessed to not have any problems at all.
Especially right there, so close to the water.
I know.
I think it would be the first thing. And lucky about that. And
Yep.
then COVID happened. That too was another one that was
Yep. But it's funny because 2021 was the best year we ever had.
Is that right?
Right after, right after COVID, there were so many people I couldn't believe it, but they would say, I've been locked up in my house for 14 months. This is the first place I came.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? That's great.
Wow, really? My little store is the first place you went?
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, but we had a great year.
Yeah. Yeah, there was this sort of pent-up surge that people were ready to get out and go do it. But it was the beginning of that time. We didn't know how long it was going to be. That unknown to that period was tough to stomach. Like, what are we going to do? And but you've ridden all the waves through the whole thing, so that's hats off to you. Because I know that especially the fact that your dad got up and went on a vacation for a month after you signed it. And the two of you were left. There you go.
Yeah, here you go.
And rent's not cheap there. It never was cheap.
No,
so
it's
you always got
expensive.
a lot over your head. Always got a lot of pressure on.
Well, there was a lot of nervous years. There was, like you said, just total unknowns.
Yeah.
And, we have people that help us out with, financial planning and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we've had people tell us that this is an unsustainable business model, because we don't really do any advertising, and that's unheard of. Yeah. But have a lot of customers that tell people about us, and a lot of word of mouth. The location we sort of feel is almost like advertising expense, because it is expensive to be there, and we have a pretty good location. Yeah. So rather than try to chase people with advertising, we're just right there. Right next to you. Yeah. So it works out pretty well.
And you get the best type of customer because they're coming from somebody else who sends them to you too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a warm referral.
Yep.
So I wonder, you talk about businesses are built only on social now. There's so many that are built only on media or advertising. Mm-hmm. Like I see the watch guys, and I don't know what that world is like. I just know it's going up and it's down. And it's all over the place. The gray market watch business. But some of those kids that work at that place, I'll see them pull up in these Ferraris or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, the watch business is doing okay for a little while. What's going on over there?
Yeah.
What is that world like? Do you have any idea what goes on in the watch business?
Well, it really works out well for us because we don't sell watches. We don't work on watches. None of that. But that's all that they do. Yeah. And it's tough for guys to accessorize, because wearing a ring or something with a big diamond on it isn't necessarily what guys normally do. Like, we don't carry any men's jewelry. And so the way a guy can accessorize is with the watch. And so the guy is in the watch store, his wife is in our store.
Oh, that's great. They complement each other really well. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
But that world is way different than ours.
Yeah.
They aren't really designing anything. They don't really work on watches, whereas that's what we do is we work on jewelry, we design it. But they also have things over there that are made, for example, from the steel that was on the Titanic.
Really?
Things like that. One of 3 watches in the world.
Yeah. You can go see there.
Yeah. Or buy it.
Or sell it.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, wow.
I know. That's it. I think, oh my gosh, $200,000 for a watch. But then they think, wow, $200,000 for a piece of jewelry. Yeah. All it does is just sit there. It doesn't really do anything.
Right. A friend of mine, we had this little Christmas gathering from a group of us from our gym, and he checked the time on his watch, and it was a tag watch that was digital.
Huh.
The face, I thought it was, I didn't know that it was digital. Like, I didn't see that it had a screen, but it had the whole tag look to it and everything like that. And it was just, I thought, it looked really good. I mean, it looked like the real tag watch. But it was made by Tag, but now they just have that digital face on it, which
amazing.
was something so different.
Some of those watches over there, I don't even know how to tell time.
Yeah, right.
They don't have numbers on them. They don't have any digits or anything. It's just like this little block here. If it is in this location and this one is in this location, then that means that it's this time.
Oh yeah, you got to add them all up or something.
Right. Yeah. And I even saw one watch over there that was like that, and I couldn't figure out what time it was. But if you took it off and looked at it from the part of the watch that's actually touching your skin, then it has a real dial with hands and everything.
What's the point of that?
So you can figure out.
You have to go upside down to figure it out. Okay.
I know. Crazy.
The recent memes were out and they were showing these kids, whatever the current generation is, Z or Y, what I don't know which one it is. And they were looking at a real clock on a wall, and they were like, they couldn't tell what time it was because it was had the shorthand and the longhand. Couldn't see what it was.
That's not far from the truth.
You're right,
you know,
no. We had a client write a really nice thank you card, and she brought it back later in the day. She had a great experience, and she was real happy about it. She brought it back later in the day, and I handed it to one of the girls to read it, and she couldn't read it because it was in cursive.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
They don't teach cursive anymore. They haven't for years, I guess. But
Yeah.
my son's signature, he's 23. His signature is just writing it out in block. So.
Yeah. Oh, right. Even signatures. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
No more signatures. Pretty funny.
Is he going to follow in the footsteps?
No, he is really into graphic arts. So he'll do something on the computer.
He's got the arts side of
he
him
does.
too.
Yeah, he has this YouTube channel. It's Scooter, the dog. It's like a yellow Boston Terrier. And so he's got a whole, he has seasons of this cartoon in his mind. And he does these little YouTube cartoons.
And he creates from an artist's perspective.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, well, I got to check that out.
Yep.
What's the name of the channel?
It's The Adventures of Scooter the Dog.
All right.
Yep.
Adventures of Scooter the Dog. Okay.
Yeah.
So he was born and raised here in Naples.
Yeah, he was born right at Airport in Immokalee. And my daughter, she's 26. She's also going to FGCU, and she's really into ceramics. So she's going to get her degree in that, and probably to teach, I'm assuming. But it's her passion. Since we have pieces that she has made from 5 years old in our house.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's just stayed with her. The passion before that has just been there. Yeah.
So all of our kids are involved in art somehow.
Yeah.
Both of our kids. Yeah.
Now, was your mom into art too, or what was your mom's role in all that?
She was she did the books for the store.
Yeah.
And she also was a realtor, and she played the violin, and she was.
Well, that's where the violin came in.
Yeah.
So she played the violin that he made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and both my parents sang in the choir at the First Baptist Church.
Okay.
And so my mom wasn't really into art that much. She could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
You know.
She supported the artist and whatever
she did.
Yeah, right. All of them in the family.
Yeah.
Are your parents alive?
No, unfortunately, they're both deceased. Yeah.
So what was your mom's name?
Lois.
Yep. How would she describe you? If somebody walked into the store and she was talking about you in the store, how would she describe her son? Her youngest son.
Yeah. I think my parents would be really proud of where Jennifer and I have taken the business. When they sold it to us, there were no guarantees at all on their end that we were actually going to pay it off. I think a lot of times when a business goes from one generation to the next, sometimes they
one of the highest failure rates.
Yeah. So they didn't really know what to expect, but it took us about, I think, almost 12 years to pay it off. And then right when we paid it off, what did we do? We moved one door down
took on a little more
and
debt
started
too.
all over again.
Just when you had that relief, no more
I
payments.
know, exactly.
Here we go back at it again.
But we just saw such an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was a brilliant move.
Yeah, it has worked out really well. Not only is the location better, but it's also a much bigger space.
Yeah.
So we have a bigger showroom, bigger workshop, and a better location. So,
it's awesome there where you're at. I mean, such a great spot. But you really, it's quite a testament to you, because second generation businesses, especially, businesses in general have such a high failure rate, but then especially a second generation business, and you never missed a payment to your dad.
No.
Yeah, that's saying something.
Sometimes they'd let us slide, like during the summer, because they know how tough it is.
Yeah.
And so, we did eventually pay them off. It took a long time, but
I know what that's like. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of rough years for us too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the tough part, is you don't really know what it's like. A realtor, you could have a dry spell and the bills are still coming in like clockwork, and there's nothing coming in. So it makes it really scary at times.
And there's no leniency on that rent. There's
Nope.
not for a minute.
Nope.
10 days after Ian.
Yep.
Where's my check?
That's right. Oh, and by the way, we have air conditioning maintenance that
Yeah.
you have to
Oh,
pay
and by the
for.
way, where's your $5,000? Yeah, right. I know we messed
That
up on
just
the
happened
cam.
a couple months ago.
Yeah. I'm
Oh
still
man, the
paying that.
stands
Yeah.
for the AC.
Oh
and
yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh my gosh, like random. Or we messed up on the cam charges, so we need $6,000.
Right.
Well, wait, that time's already gone. Yeah, you got to pay it.
That's right.
But the customers that came in during that time, I would have had to raise prices had I known. But
Yep.
well, that's your problem, not for us to deal with.
Yep.
We messed up on cam again. I could go on and rant on
Sorry
that 'cause
about
it drives
that.
me crazy that I get these
Yeah.
year later bills that, oh yeah, here you owe this amount
Yeah.
of money that they screwed up on the estimates.
But because they messed up on the estimates, now the charges for the next year are going to be higher because now that they know what it's going to cost, then
Yeah, right.
So yeah,
And sometimes it's okay if you know, okay, I have planned for it at least.
Right.
But I can't stand when we get those
I know.
things in the mail and then they're like, we want it now. Well, where is it? Where is it not coming? Yeah, it just drives me
Yep.
crazy.
But it's great location, and the thought of moving, and
Right.
starting all over from a different location.
Of course, they got us. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I
Yep.
mean, there is nothing else on that in all of Naples. There's not. I mean, in most cities in the world, really,
Yeah.
to be that close to the beach and to be just, that whole area is all for Venetian Village.
Yeah.
It's
Yep. There
it's this
there are a few. I think there's Tommy Bahama, and there's a few other national chains that are in Venetian Village. But for the most part, it's like you and me. We have one store. You've got how many stores now? 3 or 4?
three.
Three.
Yeah.
So
three, yeah.
And I think that's what part of the allure to the village is the fact that you can't go to this store wherever else you are.
Yeah,
that's
right,
And that's
yeah.
something that attracts me when I go on vacation or whatever. I don't want to eat at Olive Garden.
Right,
I've
yeah.
got one of those here.
Yeah.
So I try to go to a mom and pop place.
Yeah.
Some place that has different food or different clothes or whatever from what I have here. And I think that's something that a lot of people do.
Yeah, my wife is the same. She loves the boutiques. She loves
Mm-hmm.
the small local shops that
Yeah.
she finds the unique pieces in. And,
Right.
and she likes the big stores too, but she also likes the small. We went up to the Panhandle for the first time. We were trying to get away after the holiday, and 'cause that week's always a little weird right after Christmas.
Yeah.
So we went to Rosemary Beach, Seagrove. It's a long drive for me. Beautiful area.
Yeah.
But they have some of those small little boutique area
Yeah.
shops that are really
Yep.
fun for her to visit and
Yeah.
see. But yeah, those are not everywhere because the chains are everywhere now.
I know,
The chains
yeah.
are just everywhere.
We like going to Sarasota, and there's the St. Armand's.
St. Armand Circles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really nice.
Yeah, we were close to there recently too, but we didn't make it up there. We were in Englewood Beach, Minnesota Key, which I didn't even know existed for the first time. We were going to take a ride up to St. Armand's because her family used to go to that area. But that's another area that's similar to.
It is. It's nice.
To it.
We've stayed at the Lido Beach Resort a couple times.
Okay.
And that's really nice.
You like
because,
that?
Yeah, there's a golf cart that I think it goes like continuously back and forth from St. Armand's Square to the hotel. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can just get in and get a nice bite to eat or whatever, and then
Yeah.
just go back to your hotel.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. 'Cause
Yeah,
we were always looking for little getaways. And I don't like going to the other coast as much because
I know.
it's just crazy over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. It's a different world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every now and then it's fun, but later in life I'm good with the slower. And we were at Minnesota Key, which they got hit really hard. That area was pretty messed up, I think, with the hurricane. But they didn't go in and rebuild it the way that is happening here, where they're just tearing stuff down and just rebuilding these monsters on it. And so it's still kind of got that old Naples character to it. It felt like to me, that little area. There's not a lot going on there, but it was a nice little retreat. In fact, what was his name? There's a song that I think it's called Venus, an old 50s song, Venus, My Love or something. It was some song my dad grew up with and loved. The singer of that song, I don't want to say Bobby Darin, but I could be wrong, lives there. And he's still alive. He's
Wow.
like 93
Wow.
or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
And because I was just reminded of my dad when we were up there, because I remember when we moved to Naples, it reminded me a lot of what Naples was like many years ago. How it was just those single-story Ruttenberg homes and there were no mansions here. And in Vanderbilt Beach, we lived in Vanderbilt, which at the time was considered almost Fort Myers, because if you were in Naples, it was so far. Anything north of Pine Ridge Road was like
Right.
you're way out of there.
Yep.
There was no Pelican Bay. There was,
Yeah.
and Vanderbilt was just like this off the beaten path. Yeah.
How long have you been here?
We moved here in '77,
Wow.
so most of my life I was going into 8th grade. Went to Pine Ridge Middle School when we got here, and then Barron Collier was had just opened up. when I went
Wow.
there, so. And you came right after college, or a couple years after college.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you've seen it
92.
all. You've
That's when
seen
I
it all.
Yeah.
You've seen
A lot.
from that. I know. And every couple of years, you go, "Wow, I saw a lot." Then there's still more coming.
Oh man, it just never slows down.
No, it does not.
Yeah, it's exponential. It just keeps going faster
Yeah,
and faster as you get older.
We will drive down through Aquilane and Port Royal every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't go there for a year and then go back a year, it's like, wow, look at these homes. That
I
are here.
know.
Just incredible what's going up.
Yeah.
And right under our, and everybody always says, "Oh, I wish I would have bought that piece of property. I wish I would have bought that land."
Yeah. When I moved here and they were building the high rises that are on Gulf Shore.
Yeah.
When I first moved here, as I said before, there was no south side of Venetian Village.
right.
And we used to park right where the high rises are now.
Right. There was nothing there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I could sit on my workbench and I could see the waves coming in on the Gulf.
Wow.
There was nothing. I looked right.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. We used to park like now we park at the church.
Yeah.
We used to have to park on the property that was on the other side of Gulf Shore.
Wow. Imagine that. They tell us to park on the beach. Oh my gosh, on the beach side. That's incredible. That's
know.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that. Wow.
Yep. It seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. That area right there. Yeah. Because I only think of it now as the concrete, what it is now. That's wild to me.
Yeah, there's nothing there. So yeah, we've seen some change
Yeah.
for sure.
I haven't seen him there, but Sebastian Maniscalco, have you ever heard of him? The comedian?
Yeah. I've
love
seen him many, many times. We saw him in Tampa in 2012.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
just like Off the Hook Comedy
Yeah,
Club.
yeah, no
it
kidding.
It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
And we had a little table. He was right there. We paid $20 for the tickets.
Really? Wow.
But since then, he has exploded.
Oh, big time. He was here one time. And when I had first discovered him and hearing him talk about his Italian upbringing and his father, because his dad reminds me so much of my father. Just a hard-nosed Italian.
Yeah.
Just
In the
got
hair
to sit in their
business,
ways.
too.
And
Yeah.
he's a stylist. I know.
Dad
I
is
know.
still
Yeah.
cutting hair.
He is. I love the stories because it
Yeah.
really, but one of the things I am so grateful to him for is he talks about his heritage and the way his dad was. And he had me have an appreciation and love for, because for many years, my dad being a hard ass like he was, like he talks about his dad is like, nothing's ever good enough. You're
Right.
you're always in trouble. You're always up to something. It was my life. It was like, wow. But he had me have an appreciation for who my dad was for me. It really had me appreciate him because he was an old school Italian, and that's just how they are. And I should honor that. And it really had me love and appreciate my dad in heaven.
Yeah.
Like a way I never did, hearing him talk about his dad all the time.
Yeah.
So I remember hearing that I think it was before they got married, or maybe they had just gotten married, and they were coming here, and I gave a package to Simone to give to him to say thank you. You gave me a relationship with my dad. I gave him a couple bottles of wine or something. And said, you gave me a relationship with my dad, even from heaven down, that I have now that I didn't appreciate until you share it the way you share it.
Yeah.
Because he really puts it in context and he still does it and makes me laugh about it. It has me appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I just love him, and I'm so happy for him that he's gotten so.
Yeah.
He's a big deal. But I didn't realize that you saw him pre everything.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
really when he was
Yep.
nobody. He was just coming up.
Yeah. And after the show, he was out in the parking lot shaking hands. We've got pictures with him.
Is that right? Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And his friend, he does a podcast with a guy named Pete.
Yes.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen him before a couple times.
Oh, is that right? Down here? Yeah.
Actually, he was at Off the Hook a few years ago.
No kidding. Really?
Yep.
Did he come? So we saw him last year when he came to Hertz. I think it was last year. And I don't know if Pete might have been a warm up, a part of that too. He had a couple
Probably
of
so.
beforehand. I think he was.
Yeah, he was at the Barbara B. Mann a couple times too.
Oh, I saw him there too. Yeah, I saw him at Barbie.
Yeah, we did too.
And now he's got it. Now he fills up the Hertz Arena.
Yeah.
It's a big time.
Yeah, just last weekend, on Saturday night of last week, we saw Russell Peters also at Off the Hook, and he did a set at Sebastian's wedding.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a really funny comedian too.
And yeah, we got some good ones that come right there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's right in our own backyard.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool that we
Yeah.
get those.
Jim Brewer lives in Naples.
I saw that. I just read that. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yep.
And he'll go there a lot then too. Does Jim
Yeah,
Brewer
he's
go
been
there?
there several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen him at Off the Hook.
Anybody good coming up that that you would recommend?
Not that I can think of. Nobody stands out.
Yeah.
But they've always have good comedians there, and
Yeah.
we get the free tickets. You know, they send out a text saying, you know, that this comedian is going to be here and you can come for free.
Oh yeah, you get what are you on some special list or something? What's
yeah,
that? Oh,
yeah. You can just go to offthehook.com, I think, and subscribe.
Okay.
And then you'll get texts when they have a comedian coming up for free
Okay.
tickets. And of course, it's not free. It'll end up costing you $100 before you get out.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But it's worth it. The food there is really good.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know that I ate the last time I went. I saw, I won't remember his name now, but I saw a comedian who was on the Goldbergs, the 80s show, the
Oh, yeah,
Goldbergs.
uh-huh.
Brian Cullen, I think is his
Okay,
name. Yeah, he was on. He's the teacher, the gym teacher on that show.
Okay.
we saw him there. That's really good.
Cool.
But we didn't have dinner. But I got to do that. Yeah, that'll be something else to do.
Yep. We saw James Murray from Impractical Jokers there too.
Oh, really?
Murr?
One of the guys who does they talk to the other guy and make him do his create something crazy with him. Which guy was that? Which guy is
It was Murr was his name.
Which one?
James Murray.
What's he look like?
He is the one that's really clean cut. You
The
know,
most normal looking one?
Yeah. There's Sal
Yeah.
and Q and Joe. Joe,
Okay.
I guess, is no longer with them. And then Murr. But Murr was a good time. He was
Yeah.
pretty much just taking questions from people
Oh, yeah?
and that kind of thing. Yeah, he didn't really have a set, you know.
Yeah.
But it was really fun to watch, and we got a good picture with him too.
Yeah, I like how they do I don't know, they speak to the audience. They get to know Naples. They talk about Naples for what it is.
Yeah.
I think that was great because he did that too. Sebastian did that too. He always does that because he comes here with his family. I mean,
Right.
the movie was about his in-laws. The movie
Right.
was about the Leckerts.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah. And it's funny
got-
knowing them.
Yeah.
You know, when he's talking about his little niece and nephew doing this and that, we're like, oh, yeah.
What was it in your life that for you that you knew that it wasn't just something you do, it was like your calling to be in this business?
I think sometimes if you want to do something and the doors start closing and you have to force the issue, whether it's a new job or moving to a new place or whatever, that door never even was cracked closed. It was always just an opportunity. There's nothing that really held me back, you know? And I think if things started to feel forced, then it would feel like it wasn't right, you know, that I should maybe do something else. But, you know, we've prayed before saying, Lord, if there's something else you want us to do, you know, we'll follow whatever you want us to do. And all of a sudden we make a big sale or something, and we are able to just keep going and trucking along, you know.
Yeah.
But there have been many, many challenges,
Yeah.
but we've overcome them and gotten stronger because of it. So it's worked out well.
And what advice would you give to people who work with their spouse?
It's funny. Jennifer and I work under the same roof, and we eat lunch together. But she's always in the office, and I'm always in the showroom, or I'm at the workbench. More than likely, though, I'm on the computer using the Matrix software program, making something for someone. So although we quote unquote work together, we don't really interact a lot. You know, she might need the price of something, or somebody calls about a repair or something like that. But for the most part, we don't really work together. But I think that if we had to give advice to somebody that was considering working with their spouse, I would just say to be patient and to try to see things from their point of view, and to try to just work it out, because there have been a lot of times that we were stressed about something, but we always had to remember that we're both on the same team. We aren't really working against each other. We're always working towards the same goal. So it's not that I'm against her at any time. We're always trying to get to the next thing, whatever it is. So I think knowing that you are with your spouse and having them work with you to better a situation is always something that you can rely on. And if it does start to feel forced, then just take a step back and, relax and try to see things from their perspective.
Who's the ultimate decision maker on big decisions?
I'm the ultimate decision maker. But I would say with every really big decision, we do it together. For example, buying the 3D printer, or we have a really, really expensive induction casting machine. And when you're trying to think about buying something that's many, many tens of thousands of dollars, you have to try to keep in mind, are we going to get our return on investment back? Or is this just a money pit that isn't really going to be used very much? And we've always benefited from whatever technology that we've decided to get. And it's something that other stores don't have. So it just makes us stronger.
Have you always been a techie?
Yeah, I have. Yep, I like state-of-the-art things. I mean, really nice equipment is awesome. I mean, you probably have things in your stores that are really, really nice because you can do things with them on a more timely basis and get a better end product, know?
Yeah, you mentioned that your dad was doing the books on a computer, but barely, just a little bit of it, because back in those days, I remember trying to get my parents to put a computer in at around those years, and they were using, and I remember them getting their first computer, which was just to do payroll and some simple things like that. But it was a transition, but to always, and then when the first computerized appointment book came out, that was such a big deal, but it was so scary to them to want to do that. But technology wise, how about, are you using AI at all for anything for the business? And using it
there are ways that you can use AI for jewelry design.
For design?
Yeah. I kind of feel like it's cheating a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't like to use other people's designs.
Yeah.
I'll use cues from their designs to incorporate them in something that I might be making, but to actually take like an image from AI and create that, I've never done that, but I think that a lot of people have. But in our business, I don't really think AI applies as much just because everything is done by hand. Yeah. And I can't be replaced by AI.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
so, I mean, from the design aspect, I could. Yeah. But to then take that and then create it to a real piece of jewelry, AI can't do that.
Right.
So I've got pretty decent job security.
Yeah. It's like haircuts too.
Yeah.
Do you use it for anything else in your life or any other area of the business that you use AI?
Not really. But like you with the appointment book, we have a automated texting situation where when somebody comes in and they want to have a piece of jewelry made or repaired or whatever, we'll get their cell phone number. And then everything is done through Podium, it's called. And it's really nice because before, let's say a piece of jewelry was finished, we'd call the place, the people, and then it's like, who is this? It's John from Phelps Jewelers. I don't know of any place called Phelps Jewelers. Well, we have your wife's repair done. Is she there? So then you go over it all over again. Who is this? Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So now with this texting software, as soon as the piece is done, they get a text, and then there's something concrete in writing saying that we did contact them, or if we have a wrong number, at least we tried, something like that. But that's something that's really changed our business for the better. Yeah. Yeah. But as far as AI goes, it doesn't really affect us that much. I'm sure that there are businesses that are almost completely transitioning to AI, but our store is not one of them.
Yeah. I haven't seen I guess back of the house stuff is more where we've been using it for internal accounting and things like that. It's kind of helpful with that in some regards, but
Yep.
but not so much in creativity and haircutting. It's just not the,
Yeah,
it's just not the
exactly.
thing. It's not
Yours is an art form also.
Yeah.
Cutting hair.
Yeah. It's
Definitely.
that world that the robots that Elon is talking about won't be able. Well, maybe who knows? Maybe the robots will be able to cut hair, but I don't know.
Who knows?
Right now they can't.
That's good.
Right. If you could go back to your 10-year-old self, is there anything you would say to yourself?
Oh my gosh. I'm sure that I've made a lot of mistakes, but to my 10-year-old self, wow. I would probably say to take education a little bit more seriously. I wasn't the best student. Had a lot of fun, but if I had to do it over again, I would definitely take school a lot more seriously and get better grades. But
Turned out pretty good.
yeah,
without
that's
that,
what I was going to say. I may not have met my wife if
Right.
if I did have better grades and kept going to school.
Right.
So she used to go to our store, by the way, and I didn't know that she, even existed. I always just sort of missed her at the store, in Texas when we lived there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, we crossed paths many times. So,
And it finally ended up when you were getting ready to move that
yep.
you can. That's awesome. What a great
Yeah.
story. I love that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of trust involved in your business, and you get things that are handed to you from generations in their family, their heirloom, or whatever it was. Is there a story without names that really stayed with you, that you remembered something you did for somebody?
It's funny because we have a lot of very wealthy customers that have a lot of very expensive jewelry, and they'll just hand it to us and say, I'm going to go get my hair cut. I'll be back to pick it up so it's cleaning while they're gone. They don't care at all. They trust us. But then you get these people that come in and they have a 1/4 carat diamond that, they don't want to see it go out of their sight. And it seems like the less expensive it is, the more they care about the security of it. But
Yeah.
we've seen diamonds in excess of 20 carats in the store. Wow. We've seen there was a girl that came into the store. She had a pink diamond, a natural pink diamond that was 1 carat, and it was worth a couple $100,000.
Wow.
And so we see everything. But as far as the specific story goes, we have made so many different types of jewelry. In fact, this is kind of gross, but we were just talking about this last night. A guy came into the store and he had this sort of a marble looking thing. It was sort of gray or brown looking. And he said that he wanted me to make a piece of jewelry out of it for his mom for Mother's Day. And so I was looking at it and it was kind of squishy. And I was like, what is this? And he said it was a gallstone that he passed.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And I was like, no, thank you. This is not something I'm making a piece of jewelry out of. And we've made jewelry out of fish scales. Just about everything you can imagine. Being in the business as long as we have.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that we've done.
Yeah.
Almost to the point where you can't surprise us anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially with as things are handed down to different generations, they look at their mother's jewelry and say, "Well, I would never wear that. That was good for the '80s or the '90s or whatever." But what am I going to do with it now?
Yeah.
And now to keep a piece of their mom or dad, they can have it made into something that's with the times or functional or something that they're going to use, and it's a piece of their.
Yeah, that's our specialty. Exactly that. Right now, just as of a few days ago, gold went over $4,600 per ounce. So the piece of jewelry that they bought in the 90s for say $1,000, I can give them double for that.
Wow.
Now.
Wow.
And so
gold is that high now?
Yeah, really? $4,600 per ounce. Yep. So a lot of people are having things repurposed now. And it's kind of neat too, because the diamond that they're holding is the same diamond that was on their great grandmother's hand when she got married.
Yeah.
You know, your eyes are looking at the exact same thing that
Yeah.
she had.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, but if it's in a ring that you don't really like and you have a lot of gold that you aren't wearing, broken chains, single earrings, that kind of thing, a lot of times what they have will pay for a new piece of jewelry and it doesn't cost them anything. You know? So that works out really
it pays
well.
for itself because of what you're using for that.
Yeah. And now they have a brand new piece of jewelry that's a current style that they designed. And so it's a win-win.
So what about when you talk about the different types of gold, it's 14 karat to 10 karat, there was that big blow up on the internet recently, that guy yelling in New York about selling a gold piece that wasn't 14 karat, was 10 karat. 10 karat's worse, right? It's not as nice.
There's 24 carats. That's fine gold is 24 karat.
Okay.
So 10 karat isn't even half gold. It's more alloy than it is gold.
Okay.
If something was 12 karat gold, then it would be half alloy and half gold.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like 18 karat is 3/4 gold and 1/4 alloy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the I didn't read a lot about it, but this place was, and I guess it happens to people where it's sold as one, it's not really what it is, and got it tested, and this guy went majorly viral because he was yelling at the guy for doing it. The guy got arrested and all that.
Yeah.
But that is where somebody's representing it to be something that it's not. They're selling it as 1 karat. Now, is that an easy test to do? Or
There's several different ways you can test it, but whenever there's a karat stamp is what that's called. Whenever there's a karat stamp, there also has to be a trademark next to it. So you can say, this person is who said that it was this karat. So if there is an issue like that, you can go back to the company that said it was that gold, and then you have some recourse. But it doesn't really happen that often.
No. So who would put that stamp on there? Whoever created that piece?
Yep.
So
exactly.
They put so you would do that?
Yep.
Put your...
On every piece of jewelry that we make, it says WP on the inside for William Phelps.
Okay.
And then it will say 14 karat, 18 karat, whatever.
Okay. And that's your designation that you certify that's that.
Right. Yeah.
And so you have recourse with whoever makes that piece, whether it's that or not.
Yep.
Okay.
We do. But there's different ways to test it. You can use, it's called the scratch test, where you take the piece of jewelry and you scratch it on a stone. And then there are different acids that you can put on that scratch that's on the stone. And if it's a lower karat, then the acid it'll etch the scratch away and it'll disappear. But if the acid that you put on is put on and the scratch piece stays, that means that it's that karat.
Okay.
So there's an easy way to tell what the gold content is. And we also have a machine that we can use electronically to find out what the karat of a piece of jewelry is.
Oh, electronically. Yeah. But it's not something common that you see happens a lot.
Not really. It's too easy to get caught doing it.
Yeah. So these guys were nuts doing that.
Yeah.
That was like a crazy thing to do.
Yeah, definitely. Especially on that scale. You know, if it was just one little piece, that'd be one thing. But if it's a really heavy piece, then there's a huge difference in the value.
Yeah. Dummies.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially with gold being so expensive now.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big difference.
Did it just recently jump up a lot? Because you watch that a lot. Do you watch the price of gold a lot? Yeah. Just recently?
For it to go up that much that fast is like nothing I've ever seen.
I had to sell. My father left me when he passed. He had bought some gold buffaloes. And when we bought our house, it happened to be in the year the COVID, and we couldn't get the loan. And we had to come up with some extra money, so I had to sell those.
Oh, wow.
At the time, I think 1,700 is what they were, maybe. So in that amount of time, it's doubled.
Yeah.
More than doubled.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Incredible. It went up $100 in one day just a couple days ago.
Wow.
From 45 to 4,600 per ounce.
Yeah, wow.
And it flew through the 3,000s. I mean, I don't really know exactly what the time span was, but it seemed like it was just a few months between just barely hitting 3,000 to going to 4,000.
Yeah. So time for people to go looking to see what gold they have around their house and those old jewelry and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As recently as just a couple weeks ago, there was a guy that came in and he had a really heavy chain, heavy bracelet. I think actually 2 heavy chains. And we gave him $10,000 for it.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Michelle's got a lot of that laying around. So yeah, just
Maybe
sitting
not
there.
for
Yeah.
long, huh?
Yeah, right.
Buy
Yeah.
a new car with it.
Yeah, she's not using it. I know. She
Yeah.
never will. She doesn't wear it. So
Yep.
yeah, she got to have it made in something. Yeah, for sure. Do you have a hidden talent that your customers would never guess?
I like to yo-yo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm super skilled at it, but that's something that, it doesn't come up very often.
Rock the cradle, walk the dog.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
exactly.
You could do those tricks with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you held on to that skill over the years. Yeah, you can still do it.
There are a lot of people that are a lot better than I am, but, it's something I enjoy. It's fun.
Yeah. Do you have one at the store?
No, I don't.
You don't?
It's that hidden.
Okay. Well, Zach, when we go on Friday, we got to bring a yo-yo. So
Okay.
That's awesome. Do you have music playing when you're creating and designing? Is there music in the background or what?
Yeah, usually like 80s, vintage rock, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's your jam.
We have a stereo in the back of the store and one in the front of the store, and they're both hooked up to iPods. Actually, one is a satellite radio, the one for the store and the showroom, so there are no commercials or anything.
Yeah.
And then in the back of the store, then we have music that we like to listen to.
Yeah,
but it's mostly like 80s and yacht rock and that kind of
thing.
Yeah.
What are some artists or some bands that you would put on our Spotlight on Good People playlist for our Spotify playlist?
Oh man, Steely Dan, just about anything from Steely Dan.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Crosby, Stills and Nash. Yeah.
Crosby, Stills, Nash. Okay.
Yeah.
And Young too, or just Crosby, Stills, Nash? Okay,
Young too. We'll get him in there. But mostly like 70s, 80s, Simon and Garfunkel, Heart. I like Rush a lot.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, Rush. What was I watching? Oh, I think we were watching Stranger Things recently, which I just started to watch. And it's got so much 80s stuff in it in the show. It's just, and the music is really what caught me, because they have really captured some great music from the 80s that they bring back in that show. It's not a show I would probably ordinarily watch. I think it's very popular amongst 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds. But they capture the time period of the 80s really well. And there was a Rush song on there. I'm pretty sure that's the last time I heard Rush, because when I hear it, it's such a distinct sound. I love Rush.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Represented a period of time in my life.
Yep.
Yeah, that group. And they were here. Well, one of them was here, right? They used to come here. One of them came here and got in a fight at the Ritz, I think.
Yes,
one time, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that was their guitarist, Alex Lifeson.
It wasn't Geddy Lee or Neil Peart, right? Yeah,
Alex Lifeson.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And one of them just died, or a couple of them are gone, right?
Neil Peart, the drummer.
Yeah.
He passed away. He had brain cancer for, I guess, a few years, and then he passed away.
Is that right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Never saw them live, but they had a special sound to them.
Oh, that's for sure. That was the first concert I went to.
Oh, you did see them, huh?
Yeah, I saw them at Reunion Arena shortly after I moved from New Hampshire to Texas in the early 80s. And that move was pretty mind-blowing, because I lived in a place that was called Campton, New Hampshire, and we had 200 people population. That's all that was in the whole...
Really? That small? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So to go from there to Dallas, Texas was just like unbelievable.
Yeah. Well,
So-
especially Northeast. You're not even going staying in your region. Like, you're going to it's a different world.
Pretty
Texas
much off
to
the
Northeast.
grid.
Yeah.
So to go from New Hampshire to Dallas and then see Rush live, at Reunion Arena, that was amazing.
No, what was your Reunion Arena? What was that size like? Is that like Hertz size, or what was that?
It's bigger than Hertz.
Bigger,
yeah, it's the biggest venue in the Dallas area.
Okay, and it's still there?
Yep, it sure is.
Were you on the floor, or were you up in the seats? Or
We were in lower balcony. Yep.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of Dallas, do you remember the show Dallas? There was like a big ball on a building, and it was rotating.
Yeah.
And it had like flashing lights and stuff on it. That's Reunion Tower. The bottom of that is where Reunion Arena was.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. I think it's called something else now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty big venue.
Who else did you see?
Oh, I've seen Van Halen.
Yeah.
I saw the Police there.
You saw Van Halen when they were Van Halen. When it
Yes.
Was,
Yeah. Not Van Hagar.
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You saw the Police.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The Synchronicity tour I saw.
Oh, over there? Were you in Texas then? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
The reunion. Yeah. In the 80s. I mean, what a great time for music.
Yeah. Some good shows. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember seeing Van Halen in Fort Myers. Was the, I don't know, Lee County Civic Center was what it was. Yeah.
Yep.
And
It had a lot of people there.
yeah. Journey, Van Halen, Foreigner there.
I wish I had seen Journey when they still
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
the original singer.
Yeah.
But
That
I
was
guess
a
the
show.
new guy from the Philippines, he sounds almost exactly
It's
like him.
crazy how much
Yeah.
he does. It's just different seeing somebody else other than,
Yeah.
that is wild how his voice is so close to that.
And I guess that's like, well, the time that he got the job, he couldn't speak a word of English except for the lyrics to
Is that right?
Journey
Really? I didn't know
songs.
that. No
Yeah.
kidding, yeah? Wow. But he could sing the English perfectly in the song.
Right.
Yeah, without
Yeah.
an accent.
Nope.
Yeah, that is wild.
Amazing.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Any other, have you seen the concerts recently in the last couple of years? Maybe?
We saw Hall and Oates at the Philharmonic.
When did they come there?
It was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Many.
Because they don't like each other now, right? Or
No, I don't think so.
How was that show?
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
We saw Barry Manilow. It hurts a couple.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, it hurts.
just a couple
Okay.
of years
And
ago.
how was he?
When somebody does something for so long, he's so polished, and it was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, for someone
He's
that
got
age,
so many songs too.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But to see somebody of that age with that much energy still making music that's that good,
Yeah.
to see it live, just done exactly as it is on a record or whatever, is just
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
I saw, we went to a cover band of The Cure and Depeche Mode
Oh, wow.
a couple months ago. They came to Fort Myers. It was Barbara B. Mann. And they were really, really good.
Wow.
Both of them.
I love both bands.
They were so, you thought, if you closed your eyes, you wouldn't realize that it was a cover band. They were that good.
Wow.
Both of them. And they even
Amazing.
dressed the part. It was a great show. It really
Wow.
surprised me. And then I saw, remember that there was that little entertainment building in Bonita that was there for a little while.
Yeah.
I think they were going to do comedy there too. Or
Yeah.
maybe they did for a little while.
Yep, that's right at
Livingston and,
Yeah.
it changes to 3.
And
Livingston
Bonita Beach Road.
Yeah. On the corner there.
I
which
was
is
supposed to see Stevie Ray Vaughan's brother play there March 1st of 2021.
Oh, and then it closed. Or
Yeah.
it closed or was COVID? Closed.
COVID.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I would have loved to have seen him,
That would have been
but
cool because it's a great spot to see a show.
Yeah.
It really was so nice.
yeah, Jimmy Vaughn.
That would be cool.
Yeah, but it was canceled. Oh well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad that place didn't make it because they were getting, I saw the Psychedelic Furs there, which I thought
Oh, wow.
that was, most people don't know them, but I saw my wife who's younger than me. She was like, we had seats that were too close, so we were literally like right there. And she doesn't know them, and you're in the front row. You got to move a little bit or
Yeah.
something. We're just sitting there. She was like, she knew Pretty in Pink, but she didn't know any other songs. She was like, what are we doing here? But yeah, it was a good little spot to see
Yeah,
it.
that's for sure.
But going to see The Cure and Depeche Mode, those cover bands, really was a, I'm not into crowds and,
Yeah.
big things like that. So it wasn't overcrowded. It was a perfect spot to see Barbara B. Mann. It wasn't like the old days of going to see, I saw U2 at the Orange Bowl with the lighters and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It was just 60,000 people.
Right.
I'm not up for that right now, but it was cool to see.
Yeah.
See these guys there.
Yeah.
But to say you've seen Rush live is pretty cool.
Yeah.
'Cause they were. Now, what were they like compared to the album that you were listening to when you saw them live? Was it?
They stayed pretty true to form from what they sounded like on the records.
Yeah.
They didn't really go on a lot of tangents or anything, but
But it sounded the same. Like there was no difference from like sounding a studio sound to being live.
yeah. Being live. Oh, there's nothing like
incredible.
seeing entertainment like that live
Yeah.
right in front of you, in the sounds are just
The drums with that
Oh,
group,
man.
the drums, the bass, the whole guitar,
Yeah.
they blended stuff together.
I know, and it's amazing that 3 people could make all that
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course Neil Peart would have to do his 5-minute drum solo and
Yeah.
have the thing turn around and acoustic on one side and electric on the other side and all that.
Yeah.
The big gong and everything. So yeah, that was fun to watch.
Yeah, they were a trio. That was pretty special.
Yeah, that's for
We'll
sure.
do a Rush segment on the Spotlight for Good People. On the
All right.
Spotlight. We'll have that on the Spotify
Sounds good.
thing. How about books or podcasts? Anything that you read or interested in, or podcasts?
I really like a comedy, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
There's several things like this that I watch, like with Bert Kreischer, comedians. But yeah, I probably watch too much TV, to be honest. I don't read a whole lot of books, but
what TV? What do you watch if you're out watching TV?
there's Landman that's out now on Apple TV.
Oh, with is that the oil one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
with
haven't seen it.
Billy.
Yeah, the 3-name guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're talking
Can't
about.
remember
Yeah,
his name.
yeah.
But yeah, I watched that, and there's several shows like Pluribus we're watching now. If you haven't seen that, it's done by Vince Gilligan, the same guy that did Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. But it's an incredibly great show.
Pluribus?
Pluribus.
What network's that on?
That is on Paramount Plus.
Okay. Pluribus. I wanted to say if I heard of that.
Yeah.
So same guy did Breaking Bad.
Yep. Vince Gilligan, and also the other one, Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I like him. I like that guy.
Yeah, the girl that was Jimmy's girlfriend / wife in Better Call Saul is the lead role in Pluribus.
Okay.
Yeah, she is phenomenal. Ray Seahorn is her name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got to put that on the list.
Yes,
We're always
that's a
our weekend
mind-blowing
ones.
one.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Right from the very beginning,
It's a
just incredible.
series.
Right now, they just finished the first season, and I believe there were 9 episodes.
Okay. Oh, that's good. To know that there's 9 out, you don't have to wait. I can watch it.
Yeah, you
through.
can binge watch it, and it's not like they're hours long either. I think they're like under an hour each, so you can burn through them pretty fast.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than, you get really into a show.
I
and then
know.
like, oh, the next episode comes out next week, and then they have holidays.
Yeah.
You got to wait longer, and I can't
That's
wait.
how Better Call Saul was.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it was months between episodes.
Yeah.
So we would just not watch it until
Just
there were
wait.
3 or 4.
Yeah. That's what we got to do too. I
Yeah.
can't stand that. And we're always counting like how many we got left, whatever one we're on. What do we have left?
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice with Stranger Things because we got the whole thing. I didn't know it started 10 years ago. I know it's been real popular. It's been
Long
around a
time.
while.
Yeah.
Do you have a go-to coffee order?
We have one of those Nespresso machines.
Yeah.
And I don't really get coffee out a lot, but there are some that I really like. The hazelnut Nespresso, and there's one that's Mexico that's really good, and Stormio is another really good one. And they have a peppermint one that's really good.
Yeah. So you're not like, I got to have my Starbucks kind of guy.
Not really. I have
You're not going to spend
trouble.
$10 on a cup of coffee. Right?
That's what I was just
no,
going to
me
say.
too.
If it was really that much better, I could
Yeah,
justify
right,
it, but it's
right.
just stronger, I think, you know?
Yeah. Plus
It's
a lot
good.
of sugar
Yeah.
on those other drinks that they make. Yeah.
Plus, you have to go there and get it.
Yeah,
Like that. So
yeah.
the Nespresso machine's
Was
pretty
there a
easy.
Starbucks in the Village for a little while?
There was a coffee shop.
But not a Starbucks, right?
I don't think it's
I don't think
Starbucks.
so. I know there was a Lululemon. I remember that, but
Yep.
yeah, I don't think they did. They never did have a Starbucks. There was a coffee. Well, there's the small one now that's,
Yeah.
I don't know the name of it now. The one that's,
Black something, I think. I can't remember.
yeah.
But yeah, there's a little coffee shop there.
If you weren't a custom jeweler, what do you think you'd be doing?
Believe it or not, I would probably be a marriage counselor. I think relationships are really interesting. I tend to be a fairly good listener. So I think that would be really rewarding to have a couple come in that was, at odds and listen to what each one of them say and try to have them work it out. I think it'd be, really gratifying.
Some of your wife's psychology background
Yeah.
led over onto
I
you.
never
there.
thought about that, but yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right, final question.
Okay.
What do you love about your life?
I mean, where do I begin? Of course, my family always comes first. I'm extremely blessed to be with my wife and share a business with, and to bring up kids, and it's just all very rewarding. I love, of course, where we live. You know, it's funny to me how we live in such a beautiful place that people save up for, their vacation to come here for a couple of weeks, and we live here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sometimes we go on vacation and we're like, well, this is kind of nice, but Naples is so much better.
Right? Isn't it hard to go on vacation from here?
It is, to go someplace that's nicer than where we really live. So
it's
I love
really
that.
tough. Yeah, because we live in paradise. Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
Truly paradise. It's clean. It's safe. There's a lot of really nice people here. So that's something I'm really happy about.
And people are happy when they're here because they're on vacation, or they're staying here for a little while, so they're in a good mood. They're happy.
Right. You ask them how they're doing. Well, I'm doing okay today, but I have to go back to Chicago tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's 8 degrees outside.
Yeah. I love when it's real cold up there. I love it. And our skies. My wife being from Michigan and going up there sometimes in the winter and seeing what their gray winters are like. I don't know how they do it.
We had a goldsmith that worked for us for about 8 years, and he was from Fargo, South Dakota.
Wow.
And he said, now that I'm here, I think, why in the world did I ever live there? It's like one of the coldest places you can live.
Yeah.
So I don't know what keeps someone there for a lifetime.
Right. I agree. And I think it's, they don't know what they don't know. Like, once you're here and we have this beautiful, like, being away from it for a little bit of time, I realize how much I miss it. I love feeling that wall of humidity when I get off the airplane. As soon as you get into the jetway, you feel it. Like it hits your skin, and I love it. It's like I'm home. This is where we are.
We went to New Mexico shortly after we got married, and it's dry in New Mexico, and so I ended up getting a nosebleed because it was so dry. And we found a huge humidor, a walk-in humidor, and it was like, great, this is great.
Think of that. Go to a cigar bar, go to a cigar.
Exactly.
We need that. Same thing happens to me when I go out west. I get dry because my body's used to being, Italian skin is being satiated with the wet, and I love it. Yeah, we do live in a place that I feel just like you, blessed that we're here. I'm blessed that we have good neighbors like you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm honored that you were able to take time out of your day, because I know you guys are swamped right now. I know you're busy.
You having me. This is fun. We have never really talked like this. I don't know how. I've seen you all the time walking by.
I know for years and years and years. So I'm glad we finally had a chance to do this too. And I really want to come by. Is it Friday we're there, or Thursday? What day are we at the village? Friday? Yeah, Friday morning, if it's okay for us to pop in.
Sure. I'll give you a full tour.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, there's a lot to see.
And we'll bring a yo-yo.
Okay. No guarantees. It's been a while. It could be rusty, but.
Yeah. All right. And I'm probably going to clean out see what Michelle's got in the jewelry box back home too. Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
Right. Anything else you want to add or say, or
just thanks for the opportunity. It's really nice to be here. And it's nice to be able to sort of get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah, likewise. I feel the same way. It's awesome that if you haven't been to the village, you've got to go and just walk, because there's always something going on. It seems like when I walk by that corner, there's always something to see. You've always got something good going on there. And now I didn't know about the video that you could be broadcasting what you got in the back.
I'll show you that.
That's going to be cool to see.
Yeah, both Aaron and I have the microscopes with the video camera on them, and we have 2 TVs in the showroom, so you can see exactly what we're working on.
So cool.
Yeah.
I can't see anyway, so I need that extra magnification.
I know, it's nice. Yeah.
Well, thanks. I really I appreciate you spending time, and we got to do this again.
Definitely sounds good. Yeah, I appreciate it.
So I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Thanks, brother.
Sounds good.
Appreciate it.
All right,
God bless.
Thanks, Rob. Yeah, thanks. You too.